welcome to Queens of the Paddock, an F1 podcast. We're back again. It's a new day.
I know.
We have new outfits. We talked a lot, way more than we were expecting to yesterday.
So we've turned it into now, like, what?
This is probably going to be like a 3 or 4-parter.
I know. Oh, gosh.
But a lot of good information. So today we're going to be talking about Haas, and then we're going to get into... Who is it? Aston Martin. And then hopefully Alfa Romeo. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is Editing Alex again. And I think it's really cute how we thought we were going to get through all of those teams in one sitting. And that it's definitely not happening. So you can probably already tell if you've been following the podcast that we're doing one episode per each team. So there will be 10 episodes in this series. But yeah, just wanted to clear that up in case anybody was wondering why we're insane. Okay, bye. But we have a lot of information, and I have a lot of notes for Haas.
Yeah, I know. This is like a novel. You could have written a book.
I don't know what happened. Like, I didn't think I was going to have a whole lot to say about them, and then it was just like...
What do you mean you didn't think you were going to have a lot to say?
I don't know.
I feel like Haas is like probably one of the teams I could talk the most
about? Well,
yeah.
Let's go.
I know. Okay. So start us off, Alex. What's going on with the team?
Haas is the only, like, truly American team.
Okay.
So they are based in Kannapolis, North Carolina, and they're owned by an American, Gene Haas.
Okay.
But they also have a headquarters in England, in Banbury, I think it was. Banbury? Yes, Banbury, England.
I feel like all of the teams, whether you
have
to have like another
something
base
in Europe because there's like so much stuff going on in Europe that you can't just be like,
oh, just fly over to the States
every
single
time.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So they're the newest team on the grid. I think they started in like 2014.
So they're going to be the newest
2016
team until what? Audi.
Well, Audi, but then I don't know. I don't even know if that'll like restart that clock for them because it's still going to be Sauber whenever Audi comes.
Yeah, that's true.
So
they're just dropping the
Alfa Romeo.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So they actually had a pretty good year this past year, which was shocking because in 2021 they scored 0 points.
But they scored 0 points, but I feel like they were like the team favorite or fan favorite on Drive to Survive.
Because they're like the underdogs. Like, you want to root for the underdogs.
Yeah, they're the underdogs, but I feel like they're not that much of an underdog. Like, they're
they have these moments.
They have moments. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
And it's like, because they're American, so like you want them to be like, oh my God, yes, like I want to root for you.
I don't know if all Europeans feel that
way.
Well,
no. I mean, I'm saying as an American, I'm like, yes, like,
yeah,
you want to see them do good.
Just like now, I feel like we probably will root for Williams a little bit more because of Logan.
Exactly. I know I will.
Yeah. I mean,
I will.
True. Yeah.
I will. But so they finished in 2022 with 37 points. They were 8th place.
Okay. So and then the majority of the points come from Schumacher or from
Magnussen. Majority were from Magnussen.
See, and then Magnussen. I think that's interesting also because of this dynamic where Schumacher's leaving. Well, not leaving. I mean, he didn't have a spot.
Right.
But I mean, he also.
I mean, he contributed though.
He did. That's what I was like.
Contributed.
I didn't feel like he had a terrible year, but I also don't think he was like lights out. You know?
I mean, I don't think that he did poorly enough to not have a seat.
Yeah.
I feel like there was worse people. I mean,
true.
If you look at it, like, I don't think I wrote that down, but he wasn't, like, like, Latifi was, like, last place. Mm-hmm. Hold on.
And then you think of Yuki.
Right.
I mean, he had, what? A whopping, like, we talked about it the other day, like, 2 points or something? No, more than 2 points. But not a whole lot.
Oh, wait. They changed this on here. They don't have last year's anymore. Look, now they have it, like, Logan's on here. Oh
so
gosh,
for all
that
of you
literally
online,
wasn't the
Alex
same.
Is looking at the F1 app on her phone.
I am. Okay, so hold on. Schumacher. Oh shoot, I can't type. Okay, I can't find it. It's fine. But anyways.
Okay. So, American team, youngest team.
Yes. So, some of their highlights from this past year was Magnussen got in 5th place.
Oh, was that
on the first race in Bahrain?
No. I'm thinking of what was like it was one of the last races.
Where he got the pole?
Yeah, he got pole. Yeah. And then if he had the car,
I was so happy for him. It was so great. He was so excited.
I feel like everyone on the grid to a degree
was like so happy. I mean, that celebration was like he won
like
the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
They were so excited, but it was great. I was happy for him.
Sorry, so Bahrain.
So he got 5th place in Bahrain.
Okay.
It was the first race of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just been called up because that was when Mazepin got like
outs.
Yeah, like they released him, couldn't race, Russian.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called up Magnussen like days before the season opener.
Oh, but I'm sure he was just like, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. And then he showed up and he actually like did really good.
Oh, yeah.
He got 5th place.
Yeah. I mean, to start out, I mean, and it's setting the tone for Haas and like showing them, and I think everyone on the grid that they are like a midfield contender.
Yeah, I think they can be for sure.
For
sure. And so it started out with Gene Haas 2016. And it was actually like Gunther that was like,
oh, Gunther,
I want to start this team. And he just didn't have the funds to do it. And so Gunther had been working for Jaguar, which Jaguar...
Are they like affiliated with Haas somehow or not really?
No, so Jaguar used to be Red Bull. So Red Bull, when Red Bull came in, they bought Jaguar.
Okay.
And then he was with that team. Like he was working for them.
As a principal or?
No, I think he was like the technical director.
Okay.
And then whenever Red Bull came in, like he kept his position.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought in that Adrian Newey guy.
Yes.
To replace Gunther. And then the Red Bull owner, Dietrich guy, was like, I want you to go to the States because Red Bull wanted to start a NASCAR team.
Oh, really?
Which I looked into a little bit and I asked Dustin. And they don't actually have a NASCAR team. So that was like a failed
attempt.
But
it got
Gunther to the
States
with Gene Haas. And then so actually, like, he was in the States for long enough to where he's now, like, a naturalized American citizen, too, Gunther.
No
way! Yes! And, like, he's got, like, a house, like, he has a house in North Carolina. I don't think he lives there all the time.
So does he have, like, a dual citizenship?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Like, that's not, like,
I mean, that's
can just
yours.
Like, oh, exactly. I'm like, it's not like you just walk into, Social
Security
and
I
say,
mean, yeah.
Oh, I want to have a dual citizenship.
Today, I'm like, I'm just gonna, like, do a No, like, it takes a long time.
Okay, so, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's got that. But whenever he was in the States, he went and met actually at a steakhouse with Gene Haas. He, like, seeked him out and was like, this is my guy. Like, this is the guy that's going to make this happen.
Okay.
So, which I can totally see from him because he's, like, the type of person that...
He's a go-getter.
Yeah.
He's not going to
back
down.
He's not going to take no for an answer.
Exactly. He's going to do whatever it takes to get...
Yes. And he's a doer.
Exactly.
Like, he wasn't like, he's the type of person that, like, when you're at work and your boss is like, come to me with, like, a solution. Don't come to me with a problem. Come to me with a solution.
Yep. Or multiple solutions.
You can identify the problem, but you better fix it
before you come to me.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
That's right. But so that's, like, pretty much what he did. Like, he came to him. He had a whole plan laid out and was like, this is what we need to do. Like, you need to join F1, which Gene Haas has, like, a very successful NASCAR team called Stewart Haas, which I don't follow NASCAR at all, which maybe we should. Maybe we should be into that. I don't know
how I feel about it.
We could go to NASCAR races.
Yeah.
They have cute racing jackets.
Always just about, like, what you're wearing or, like,
the vibes.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's the vibes. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. NASCAR to me is just a little, like,
it's very different.
You're just driving around in a circle.
Like, picture NASCAR and then picture
F1.
like F1 in the paddock. There's champagne. There's oysters on the half shell. Like,
yeah, it's just different. Like, totally,
2 different worlds.
Exactly.
2 different worlds.
No, I feel like I'm not a NASCAR unless
not into the NASCAR vibe.
Yeah, but maybe, like, I don't know, if we had the red carpet rolled out for us.
But I don't think there is like at a NASCAR. They're like, here's a Budweiser.
Yeah, but maybe that's their red carpet. Or like, think about the most epic parties or something. I'm sure
they probably have some great parties.
Well, yeah, because have you seen on most of the tracks, like, they all camp in
and then
the
they're
middle
standing up on those like campers.
Exactly. And
it looks like a fun time.
Yeah. I don't know.
It looks like a fun time.
I mean, I've been to one race when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so I've been to that track out there.
Oh, yeah.
But it poured the whole time. And really my only memory of it is this guy got his truck stuck. And so him and his friends were jumping on the back of the truck because, like, I guess
trying
his
to
tire,
like loosen it?
Well, his tires, like, he dug himself a hole. And so the guy's drunk, obviously, flooring the gas, and his friends are jumping on the back, and mud is just spraying everywhere. And that's literally like my
that
memory
sounds like a NASCAR moment. Like, I need to get this truck.
I mean, but do you see that going on in F1?
No, of course not, because they're all getting dropped off in like limos and like
or riding horses in,
or they have like a fancy car.
Yeah,
no, it's not happening. But okay, so Gene Haas was like, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And they entered the sport. And right from the beginning, they've had this relationship with Ferrari to do their power unit. And they've always had a really close relationship with Ferrari, which, like, a lot of people have criticized that because they feel like maybe there's something kind of deeper in there, that they're sharing information.
And you think that Red Bull and AlphaTauri and all
right,
of them
of
don't
course,
share information?
They definitely
like,
do.
Come on.
And they say that they don't, and it's like completely different in what they do.
Or Williams, or
if they're not,
shame on them.
That's a missed opportunity, to be honest. But
you're telling me that one of the teams may put different tires on or do something slightly different
because based off of the information that they, of course.
Maybe they don't share that information, but it's all public. I mean, you can watch it,
right?
Like, come on,
right?
And they have so much technology where they're tracking all the other cars. I mean, think about it, where they're like, oh, you're going to catch them in 6 laps or whatever. So you're telling me nothing?
That they don't, no. But so it was like criticized too because people were like, oh, well, we entered the sport and we had to like work all this stuff and like figure this all out ourselves. And now you're coming in here and you're just teaming up with this other team that's the most successful team in the sport.
Okay, yeah.
But
they don't have the most championships.
Ferrari does.
No, I thought we said Williams.
No, they're second.
Ah.
Yeah, so Ferrari has the most. I think they've got like 16.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. But, and even to the point where Zach Brown in 2018, like,
oh, I remember that.
He's always reporting everyone, though.
Yeah.
He wants to report everyone. He wants to, like, tattle on people.
Mm-hmm.
But so he reported or tried to do, like, an what do they call it? An inquest about their car in 2018.
Zach Brown, like the country singer.
No, Zach Brown, the McLaren guy.
Oh! That's why my brain, because I was talking NASCAR for a second, and my head is like, what are you talking about, Alex?
Like, why does Zach Brown?
No, because he with NASCAR, he has like an affiliation.
Really?
I think, with NASCAR.
See, I didn't know that about. I like Zach Brown. He's probably the only country person that I like.
Okay, you might have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he has an affiliation with NASCAR, and that's why in my head I was like, oh, we're talking about Gene and NASCAR, and
I didn't know he was that opinionated.
Well, you never know. Look it up.
Oh my god.
You can fact check me.
Funny. But so that's just some of their little criticisms that they've gotten. And they also are always bringing on like crazy sponsors.
Oh, do you remember when we were in Coda?
And that girl dressed up like the boat? That was awesome.
Man, I wish, like...
We'll have to insert a picture.
Yeah, I was about to say, we need to insert a picture.
I need to learn how to edit, and we'll insert a picture.
Yeah, we need to blurb her, like, face out, because I have no idea who this girl is. Mm-hmm. But she had the most epic boat costume.
She literally built the Steiner ship.
Yeah, and it was, like...
It was cardboard.
Like, but it wasn't just, like, on her shirt. I mean, it was around her. And then she had built a little shelf in the front.
And she was having her drinks on it.
Yes.
It was smart.
And then she had the little, like...
It was something that Gunther would do.
It is.
It's like, this is like dual purpose.
Exactly.
It's smart.
Yeah. And then she had, what was her shirt? It was like, I think a picture of his face or something and some meme or
Yeah. Something, one of his phrases that he said.
Oh, yeah. I'll give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was.
We stopped her and we were like, we need a picture, like,
Yeah.
stay.
Yes.
We need to be in a picture with you. But so that was from, I mean, the whole joke about that is that they had this sponsorship with that, like, weird, I don't know, like, furniture brand.
Yeah, but I thought it was like kids.
It was like kids playground equipment.
Okay. Yeah,
and it was literally like a kids playground, like, boat.
And they were like,
posed next to it.
Yeah.
For like a catalog.
But they were like,
but
literally
he was
like
it's
5
fine.
times the
Like,
size.
we'll do whatever we need to do for some money here. Like, we don't care.
I guess
he's not above it.
He's not, and maybe
he's
that's
not above it.
Maybe that's why I like him so much too. Is he's just
very
very like he's gonna
humble.
do what it takes.
He's like, I don't care if I look stupid. It's fine. Yeah. So another one was that Rich Energy sponsor that they had. Do you remember that?
I don't know.
So it was this guy, and he had basically an energy drink. So the idea, I think, was, okay, Red Bull's gotten all this success. They're an energy drink. So let's bring in a sponsor that's an energy drink.
But Red Bull's more than just an energy drink.
Red Bull is a vibe.
That's
like,
exactly.
It's an energy drink. They're selling the... like, extreme sports, like, they're into everything that's an extreme sport, like BMX, whatever. They do all that cliff jumping stuff.
About to say
and,
that.
Yeah, for sure. But
okay, so they're trying to piggyback off of what Red
they
Bull
had.
thinks.
I think that was my opinion. Okay. It was like, oh, like an energy drink can do well.
Okay.
So they found this guy, and the guy was like, do you remember him on the show? Like, he was like crazy. The Rich Energy guy, he had like long hair. He looked like Duck Dynasty. Like, he looked like a Duck Dynasty person.
I would have to see a photo of him again. For some reason, it's like my memory is not. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I feel like I remember this, but at the same time, I'm like, wait, I'm a visual kind of person. I need to see.
I need to make like cue cards of like photos.
Oh, yeah.
Of stuff.
Cool. So that we can.
Okay, hold on.
Or if we get technically really savvy in all of this, I can be on the computer and we can like
see. Look,
bring it
that's
up.
The guy.
Oh,
see, remember?
Yes,
and
yes,
I will say, the year that they had that sponsorship with Rich Energy, I loved the way that their car looked. It was like black.
It kind of reminded me of the Batmobile.
Yeah, it looked real sleek and it looked real fast.
Yeah, I will agree with that. But I do love the white now. I feel like it's very traditional.
It's classic. Yeah. It looks good. Mm-hmm. But so they had that sponsorship with him. Yeah. And then something went down where either like that company was not paying them the sponsorship money.
I remember.
And then Haas was like, we're having issues with this sponsor. Like, we're removing Rich Energy as the title sponsorship.
It was like in the middle of the season,
yes,
right? And they pulled it off of the car.
They pulled it off the car. And then the Rich Energy guy tweeted and was like, that is not true. Like, I exited because this team sucks. Like, that wasn't his tweet, but it was like, essentially, the team is not doing well. And so I wasn't, like, they weren't doing their part. Opinions.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I don't feel like I need to pay my sponsorship money. So I'm not going to anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Cause that's how it totally works.
That's how
Let me just give you money and I just expect this. And if you don't produce, I'm just going to leave. Yeah. Which happens all the time.
But then you can leave my brand on your vehicle
and still give me a ton of branding and sponsorship.
Give me yeah. Anyway, so that was crazy. And then they also brought on Mazepin. Mm-hmm. And that was with money. All of the, what was his thing that he had? Because his dad is like a fertilizer. You're a collie.
Oh, yeah.
His dad is like some fertilizer, like magnet.
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
I don't know.
Magnate? Whatever. He's a big fertilizer guy.
Well, I think you're talking like agriculture and all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, which, side note, I didn't realize how much fertilizer like is produced in that area. I mean, that's huge. Like Russian, Ukrainian, like all of that like is massive for fertilizer. So there's like all kinds of fertilizer shortages.
I had no idea
because of the Russian crisis.
I need to tell my husband he needs to stock up. You know how
fertilizer?
You know how he is about the yard.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, because like for crops and stuff too. This is like work sidebar. But anyway, it's crazy. Like I did not know that at all. But his dad is like a big Uralkali is like a big fertilizer plant.
Okay.
But so they brought him on mainly because he was going to bring on these Russian sponsors, including his father.
Yeah, true. Kind of like Lance with his dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
His dad comes on plus some other people that come with it.
Sure. So. Right.
Okay.
And then they also brought on Schumacher because of his name with Michael Schumacher, obviously, like being the son of Michael Schumacher.
But I do think we need to touch on, like, it was kind of odd, not odd, but like sudden, the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine in the sense of like, okay, F1 took a stand against it.
Right.
You know, like I was, I think, really, really surprised that F1 did it so soon. I mean,
they did.
Most countries weren't even deciding what they were doing
at that point.
And then F1 was like, absolutely
I
not.
think had Max Verstappen been Russian?
Ooh, that's like...
It's a question.
It is a question.
It's a question.
And like, what do you do? Because no offense to what's his name,
Nikita.
Yeah,
he wasn't good.
No, not that.
He was not good.
Think of the viewer attention that Max gets versus him.
Right.
Like, I mean,
no,
if Max
of course. Like he's like huge, you know.
That would
and
have
then
been
he's
actually
a really
very
good talent in sport.
Yeah, because
there would have been concessions that were made.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and they would have,
or
probably
he would have pulled
Max
like
would have gone and raced for another country,
right?
Or under another.
He would have pulled like a Robert Schwartzman and been like, which I looked that up last night because I couldn't remember if he was Belgian or German or whatever, and he's actually, oh my god, now I forgot. I think it's like Iran.
He doesn't race under Iran.
I swear, Israel. Jesus Christ, he's Israel. Okay.
I was like, yes, he is not
Israeli.
Iranian.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, but then
they're so close.
So my question also with all of this, right, is why is it? I mean, I understand why, right? Like Russia started this huge war with Ukraine and stuff like that, but they cut out the race in Russia, which I totally get. Like 100%.
I wouldn't want to go. Like if I was a spectator and I had tickets to that, like I don't want to go to Russia.
I think it's more principle of like you're not. We're not. F1 isn't bringing you finance like money.
We're not
into
bringing
the
you anything, right?
Which is like I'm a full supporter of that, right? But then my question was, why punish him as a driver? Unless, I wonder, like, unless he wasn't willing to, like, you know, race under a different country flag, or like, I hate to say it, like, race as like you could. I mean, there was like Syrian people, like individuals that competed as refugees.
All the Russian people in the Olympics, where they competed as like the independent committee of something or whatever of the Russian Olympic Committee, whatever. Like they could have done something like that, but I still think like I don't think he was good enough to cause an argument over it, and I think his dad is so like.
Invested
like
in
he
that.
Might be part of the problem between Russia and Ukraine. Which, side note, did you see that crazy like Instagram post that he did, Nikita Mazepin?
No.
At the last race, and he was like, he oh my gosh, it was insane. Like you could probably talk about just that Instagram post for like an hour.
No,
but
I don't follow him. So.
He went to the race,
okay,
and then he was like to the people that are leaving the sport after this season, which would have been like Mick, Nick Latifi, Sebastian.
Okay.
Who else?
I think it was the big
Ricardo. So it's like to these people. I want to walk you through like the stages of grief that you're going to go through.
No
yes,
way.
After leaving the sport. And he's like,
oh
first
my
stage is grief. Like you're gonna be really upset and like blah blah blah. And then he's like, second stage, whatever. And he goes on and he starts saying like, he was like, I'm gonna give you some tips, like whenever you get bored and you feel like you need to go drive around in circles like in your car, keep a stopwatch with you so that you can like mark the times down.
Oh my god.
Yes. And he actually tagged them in the post,
embarrassing,
being like at Mick, like whatever.
Yeah, but here's the difference though. Like Sebastian is leaving on his own own accord. He's retiring.
He doesn't care. And let me just say, none of those people are looking to Nikita Mazepin to be like,
oh, let me get
some advice from you because you've
Yeah.
been in this situation before. They're not.
No.
They don't care.
Not at all. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'll have to
so
look
that
up
was
this
Instagram
funny. Post.
And then he did. So I don't follow him, but there's people. I should probably follow him because I think he posts a lot of crazy stuff that might be interesting. But he posted something recently. Hold on. What was it?
He's not even in Formula One at all, right?
No,
right?
No.
Even in like Formula E, none of the above.
No.
Okay.
See, look, here's that thing. He's like, I'm at the Abu Dhabi. Step 1, denial. Step 2, anger. Step 3, bargaining. Step 4, depression. Step 5, acceptance.
Oh God.
And then he like adds all these people, but he couldn't tag Nicholas because I think he might have blocked him. Like if you can't tag them.
Yeah, you can't. Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Probably because, I don't know.
Who knows?
But it goes back to like everyone and their mother pretty much doesn't follow Lance Stroll.
Right. Which is so weird. I feel like he could be a nice guy.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
but
I have my opinions on that.
So anyways, back to Haas. They've had all these crazy sponsors. Like they're just out there to like get it done. Basically, they're like,
because you need money to win.
You need money, and it's a very expensive sport.
Like I think, like I talked on the first our first episode together. I think I said like on average they say like the average crash or wreck is like $1 million fix.
Right.
Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know, especially if you're Yuki.
It's expensive, and you're crashing all the time. But so next year, they're going to officially be known as the MoneyGram Haas F1 team because they have this new title sponsorship with MoneyGram.
You know, MoneyGram is like essentially
Isn't it like a what is the thing where you like send people money?
Yes.
But
I also
what's oh my god,
PayPal.
Not PayPal. The one I'm thinking of is like you go there and it's like a storefront.
Oh, like Wells Fargo.
Not Wells Fargo. What's the other one? It's like a yellow brand. It's yellow and with black lettering.
I always think of like, Western
Union.
Yes.
That's what I equate MoneyGram to.
But are they also kind of like all of those like companies that will loan you a payday loan service?
I have no idea. Okay. MoneyGram. See, we really need to do an episode where we dig into like all of these sponsors,
like top sponsors,
yeah,
and like what they actually
they're doing,
what are they
provide, out there promoting, and doing. But yeah, so now it's going to be officially MoneyGram Haas F1,
See,
which to me is kind of funny because I feel like Gunther's like money hungry.
Well, yes,
so I think it goes
correlation.
Like I can't see if anyone had to be the MoneyGram blah 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 team.
Oh,
it had to be Haas.
I know, but my thing
what
is
other
like,
team would
why can't
do
you
that?
just be Haas and then
throw a MoneyGram? Well, because I think they get more money if it's literally called MoneyGram Haas. Like MoneyGram will pay them more for that.
I know, but I feel like none of the teams should be allowed to do that. I feel like it should just be like the team. And then, like, whoever top sponsors are, like,
and let's throw some stickers on here.
Yeah, just like, what are we gonna call them? MoneyGram Haas?
Yeah.
No, Alex, you're telling me when we're watching a race,
that's
next
what
year,
they want.
Like,
that's what they're paying for.
No, I know, but did you just see MoneyGram Haas? Like, they just made a real bad
pit mouthful. Like, you're not gonna say that. You're still just gonna say Haas.
Yes. So
if you work at MoneyGram, you made a bad.
Well, it's just like you just spent all this money for what? Nobody is going to call them MoneyGram. It's going to be
listed like that.
No way. It will be listed, but I guarantee you when they have it up on the like boards,
they're going to have to shorten it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to shorten it.
It's going to be too much.
It was a waste.
Mm-hmm. Waste of money. They could have gotten the same marketing for cheaper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They could have. But so we'll see what happens. Like 2023 should be interesting because they've got Magnussen now. They're going to have Hulkenberg.
So it seems like they're like kind of naming Magnussen as their number one.
I would think so, yeah.
Like that's kind of the future.
And like we'll get into Hulkenberg, but I'm just like, why are you bringing him back? Like I'm not a fan. I don't think I'm a fan. I think he's had his opportunity.
Yeah.
Should we just
okay? Let's jump to him because I have my opinion of who he reminds me of.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Alex is gonna you think it's ridiculous, but it's like the way he looks. But I also kind of feel like it's the way he holds himself. Yeah, but he reminds me of Iceman from Top Gun.
From Top Gun.
Yeah, just that
See, I feel like
kind
that
of arrogance and it doesn't matter.
Iceman from Top Gun is way cooler. Than Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay, he was at the end of the movie, but not at the beginning.
Nico
I'm
Hulkenberg
talking
is
beginning
just
Iceman.
I feel like Nico. This is so mean, but he's washed up.
Well, yeah,
he's washed up.
I mean, but
not like I have an opinion, but okay. So he's 35.
Okay,
he's German. And he has been most recently the Aston Martin reserve driver.
Oh, I had no idea of that.
Yeah, he was the Aston Martin reserve driver, but he has been in and around the sport since 2010.
Yeah, because he was driving for a lot of different people.
I'm going to have to read this because there's a lot. So he started in 2010 with Williams. Then he was out in 2011 and was Force India's reserve driver. Then
the pink team.
Yes, then he came back with them as a driver in 2012. Mm-hmm. And then he was with Sauber in 2013. And then he was back to Force India.
Oh, gosh.
For 2014 and 2015 and 2016.
Okay.
And then he moved to Renault for 2017 and 2019. Or 2017 through 2019.
Okay, so Renault was probably the longest stint he had.
Yeah. And then that was when he was teammates with...
Was it Ricciardo?
Yes, with Daniel Ricciardo, yes.
Okay.
And then he would always say, Nico Hulkenberg. And that was funny. I appreciated that. I thought that was nice.
I know, but you also have a soft spot for Ricciardo.
I do. I think he's sweet. But, so anyways, since then, he was a reserve driver for Racing Point in 2020. And then he's been an Aston Martin reserve driver for 2021 and 2022.
Okay. Which Aston Martin is the old India and all of that team, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
just
that
team, getting
whenever
changed around.
Lance Stroll's dad
got involved.
Bought that team, now it's Aston Martin. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, it's the same group.
Team. It's kind of just rotated around a bit.
Right. But so all of that whole time that he's been in the sport, mm-hmm. he has never been on a podium. He's never won a race in 13 years. He hasn't won a race.
Winning a race is hard.
He's never been first, second, or third.
That's a little much to me because even other people
Come on.
But it's not like he's also racing for Ferrari or Mercedes or Red Bull.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of people that have won races in
Lando. I mean, Lando's been on the podium.
He's been on the podium. He hasn't won a race.
Yeah.
But there's been people that have won races, and in that whole Racing Point, mm-hmm. they've won races before. Mm-hmm. That whole Renault's won races.
Oh yeah, Renault. For
sure. They, he had opportunities, and he's had several.
I know,
and I feel like this was a good opportunity for somebody new, but
who?
I don't know, a Felipe Drogovic or something, a new, somebody new.
I don't know, but maybe they're just trying to buy a year.
I think they are trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and then they wanted somebody experienced. They wanted mm-hmm. somebody I think they saw okay, Kevin, he's been around for a while. He's 30 years old.
He's more seasoned.
He's experienced. He's mature.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a rookie. Let's see what we can do with somebody else who has similar experience. He's been around for a while.
Okay, so then my next question is going to be, so who is the reserve driver for Haas then? Or MoneyGram Haas?
Currently?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Because I'm curious to see how that plays out. If he doesn't do very well, do you think they'll pull him and
somebody and then switch him out? Well, I think...
Are you even allowed to do that?
Sure, you can do whatever. I mean, Red Bull's changed people mid-season.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, because Gasly.
Yeah, and then Albon and for sure. Antonio Giovinazzi
Mhm.
was their reserve driver, I think, this year. He was driving the car whenever he crashed into the wall.
Oh yeah, at Coda.
At
And we
Coda.
were just like,
and then that sealed, because I think they were considering him.
Yes. And then remember, gosh, what's his name? In his interview, he made like a comment about it.
Oh yeah,
When we were sitting in the amphitheater,
because he was driving Kevin's car.
Yes.
And then he was like, "Well, you know, like
I didn't get that many.
I didn't get that much time because my car was in a crash."
Yeah.
And he was like, like
yeah. It was like awkward. I mean, it was
kind of salty about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be too. Like someone, like you let some dude borrow your car essentially.
Yeah, and then they
crash it into a wall.
Yeah, and then you have to like
wait for somebody to fix it,
but
on the fly.
On the fly, exactly.
No.
Oh no, I would not be okay with that.
Okay, so more about Nico Hülkenberg. So the years that he wasn't like a full-time driver in F1, he's also done the 24 hours of Le Mans, and he actually won that in 2015.
I could never do that.
I think I could do that.
You think you could do that?
I think I could stay up for 24. I've stayed up for 24 hours before.
You think you could
driving a car?
But
they have a team. There's like 3 of them, I think. And they switch off. I don't think they nap or anything.
Yeah, I guess that's
I
when
could
you
totally
use the
do
restroom.
that.
I think my problem would be the restroom. And I
could
still
do it.
like am like even
Sign me
now
up.
with some of the drivers, I know like they go to the restroom in their suit.
Well,
I
yeah.
could never, like I don't.
And
can you
through
imagine
the course
just
of that race?
just sitting in it?
I think they only like go number 1.
You never know. I mean,
I hope
think
so.
of-
That would be really uncomfortable.
Think of Lando though when he was like pretty sick and
that
he
would
was
be
still
bad.
driving.
That
like,
would be bad.
I mean, I'm sure to them they don't care. Driving is
You
more
just, like,
important.
turn it on.
Yeah. We should talk about that. I'm real curious on that.
We should get somebody on here to talk. Logan.
Yeah.
What's up?
Like, how does it go down? Like, what are your feelings?
What are you doing?
Like,
that
is
whole
it
time?
awkward if you make the podium and you've gone to the restroom in your suit and you're just standing up there?
I don't think you would know because they're so hot and like
I know,
sweaty.
but you know, as a person,
I don't think they care.
You just
Nah.
You think, okay, you're telling me, Alex, if you're in a suit and you went,
If
even
I knew
number
that
one-
no one could tell, you're not going to act like people can tell.
Yeah, but you're telling me it wouldn't be a little awkward? I would be awkward because I'd just be like, I'm sitting in my own pee right now. And I probably smell. Like, I already smell because I'm sweating, but then, like, hot, stinky urine? Come on.
My God.
Just posing questions that I think everybody else probably has.
Everyone's thinking it.
Exactly. Just no
You're
one's
right.
saying it.
No one's talking about it. So anyways, Nico Hülkenberg. So one of the things I do not like about him, as I was perusing and doing research, he, like, every other post of his on Instagram is him doing like sponsored posts for Samsung.
Well, I just hate people that all they do is plug.
It's
plug,
incessant.
plug.
Like, it's literally everything that he posts is like him on a phone or him taking a selfie in a mirror, and it's like a Samsung phone. Like,
do you really need the money that much? But
it's maybe, a lot.
But maybe he has to do that because he's on Haas. Haas wants all the sponsorships.
But no, I think he's been doing it for a minute, like since before.
But maybe
I think that's a personal thing, like a personal sponsorship of his.
No way though, because I don't think there's any way that they all can have individual sponsorships and the teams are not getting a cut.
Well, the team might get a cut from it, but like, so also Kimi Räikkönen, he does it's a phone company.
Okay.
Don't quote me, but it's a phone company. And I'm pretty sure it's Samsung too. And he does the same thing. And I'm like, this is just like, it's not fun. Like, I want to see like what you're doing, like your personal, like whatever, without seeing like sponsored. Which like, I get it. I get when you have to do that.
You want
sometimes
minimal plugs.
Right. But like, let's not like everything is a plug.
So maybe he just has a bad marketing team then.
Yeah, I don't know. And then so he's married. To a Lithuanian fashion designer.
Lithuanian.
And her name is, I'm going to butcher this, like Eagle or Eagle Reskity, and they have a daughter. The daughter's super cute.
You think she's gonna end up in F1?
She's like,
or more fashion.
The daughter?
Yeah, like do you think she'll go fashion or F1?
She's like a toddler. I mean, she's like 1 or 2 at this point, but probably fashion.
Yeah.
So his wife is like a self-proclaimed, like her Instagram says crochet girl or something, and all of her designs are 100% crocheted.
I mean,
it made me think of my mom because my mom crochets a lot, and so
wait,
did
she make the outfit that Lewis was wearing? The Darth Vader?
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't think so. That didn't look like the vibe I was getting.
Okay. But
from
you know
her
what I'm
website.
About the Darth
so
Vader.
I got on her website to see, and like it's pricey, but she says that she is hand crocheting all of these pieces.
Just her, or she has a team?
I don't know if she has a team, but she says everything is hand crocheted. And it looks intricate, and it's expensive, but I think it would be worth it if you're looking for something like that. And then she also like exclusively wears crochet. Oh, okay. Everything she wears is crocheted.
But I would totally be down for like a cream crocheted, like mid,
for sure. There's some really pretty stuff. Yes,
I feel like crochet really at the same time, like it has to fit your.
Yes, it has to be like because it stretches out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like my mom's made me crocheted stuff, and like it's great and it's beautiful, and like it has to be almost a little bit tighter,
and then
because it stretches out.
Yeah.
When you wear it,
mm-hmm.
But like even so, they got married recently, and her like reception dress, I'm pretty sure she crocheted it.
Oh,
because it looked
not her wedding dress. I thought
not her wedding dress
exclusively.
Well, that was the only thing that I saw that she was not wearing crochet.
Okay,
which you know
what, I have been a vibe.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
when you're into something and you like it,
you're committed.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
So I did like that about him,
but not much else.
Well, and one other thing I did like about him, he does a lot of like. I feel like he's very self-deprecating. Like, he knows that people kind of make fun of him for certain things. So, like, since he's been the reserve driver, he has stood in for a bunch of people. Like, when everyone's sick, like when Vettel was sick.
Okay.
And him being the Aston Martin reserve driver, he had to, like, step in and do races for him and whatnot. And, like, some other person got sick, and I think he stepped in for him, and like he's always doing that. But he also hasn't
done anything because I don't even remember. No, those
he
races.
hasn't done anything. Yeah. But he's there, and he's like the substitute. And there's a bunch of memes of like, "Hey boss, like I'm gonna call out of work sick today," and then like the picture next to it is like Nico Hulkenberg, like I'm here. And he like reposts a lot of that, which I think is like. I mean, it's good. I think that's good. I appreciate that.
I think it's important to be laugh at yourself.
Yes, you have to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But then, too, I'm interested to see how the relationship between him and Kevin goes, because they haven't had like a super friendly relationship in the past.
But I think it's not going to matter, because I think Haas, or MoneyGram Haas, sorry.
I was gonna be calling it that.
It's so terrible, like so terrible. I feel like Kevin. It's gonna be like Red Bull, where Max is number one, no matter what's happening in the situation.
It's like
Max
you want to be here on this team. Like this is the rules that you're gonna abide by.
So I think that's exactly this dynamic that's gonna happen. I feel like Haas is not.
He knows his place.
Yes. Like,
he's gonna know his place.
You're fortunate to be here.
I hope so, but I kind of wouldn't be mad if there was like a little bit of spiciness. Like, have you seen that clip of him? Like, they got into some kind of on track situation. This is years ago.
I'm gonna need to hear one race of their radios to decide if I want spiciness from them. So, because some people are better spicy than others.
I think you would like this spice.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, so hold on.
This is the clip from years ago with them?
Mm-hmm.
Were they teammates?
I don't think they were teammates. So it's Kevin. So he comes up and goes, once again, the most unsupportive driver on the grid.
Oh, that's great. But I love that
That's
Kevin's
funny.
not afraid to be like,
Kevin.
no.
Kevin's a little spitfire, I think.
He is, especially like I was
I
saying
like Kevin Magnussen.
when what's his name wrecked his car. I mean, he
Yeah.
was standing in front of like a whole
Kevin
like,
Magnussen
stadium.
gives me like a Viking, like don't mess with me.
Yes, Viking vibes.
Viking vibes for sure from him.
You know, he kind of gives me vibes. He doesn't look like him, but the guy from Outlanders, it's on like Netflix and like HBO, one of those. You need to look it up. But it's like one of those things, he's like kind of like a subtle, quiet badass.
Yeah, that's him.
Like he's not going to be over the top, but he's just enough.
Right.
When he needs to be.
Yeah. Like don't poke him like hard enough and he'll come for you. Yeah, which I like. I appreciate that about him. So perfect like segue.
Intro. Yeah, into Kevin.
So Kevin's 30.
Okay.
He's Danish. And this is going to be his 9th season in F1.
Okay.
So he finished in 2022 in 13th place and he had 25 points. Which was
not like terrible.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So
especially for Haas. I feel like it's an improvement for Haas.
For sure, because they had 0 points the year before. Wait, so let's do that math now that I have that piece of information. So if Haas scored a total of, what did I say, 35 or 34?
20. I thought you said 25.
No, that was Magnussen.
Oh.
37 total for the team. Okay. So Mick scored, I count it.
I'm not a calculator. We discussed this on the first episode together. I am not a calculator.
37 minus 25.
12?
Yeah, something like that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
35 minus 25 is 10. And then 7 minus 5 is 2.
Okay.
So 12.
So Magnussen scored double the points of what Schumacher scored.
Okay, when you say it like that, now I understand.
Now it sounds not so good. But when you also say there was a lot of people that scored 2 points or 4 points or
yeah, but you're comparing
whatever.
Your two drivers.
Right. Like and they should be on par.
Yeah.
So now it kind of makes sense.
Now, like, honestly, because leading up to this, I was like, I really didn't understand it. And then you look at it in that perspective, you're like, okay, that makes
we took a step
way more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's going to be his 9th season, Magnussen, his 9th season in F1. He was a McLaren junior driver. He started in F1 with McLaren and stayed with them in 2015 as a test driver when Alonso replaced him.
A test driver, not like a number 3 driver.
He was a test driver, yeah. So like a reserve, which this I thought was really interesting. So I don't know if you've watched recently the Secret Santa thing, the F1 Secret Santa, where all the drivers like give each other gifts.
No, I feel like you're way more active on social media.
I'm into all the like, tell me what's going on with them. Yeah. So they do this thing every year where they pull names. Secret Santa.
But
like
was this at that dinner that they posted?
It's just I think they had filmed it a while back.
Okay.
Because it was at the last race where they were giving each other their gifts.
Oh, okay.
And then like they had pulled their names like it's some other race. Who knows?
Fair enough, yeah.
And then they all have to get each other gifts or whatever. Well, so anyway.
Is there like a dollar limit?
No, I don't think so, because some of these gifts, like one of them got one of those. It's like a famous brand. I don't remember the name of it now, but it's like a coffee table book that's like super expensive, like $200 or $300.
Oh, is it
like
that
Tosh?
Oh no, I was thinking of that.
You're thinking of the one that has like Palm Springs, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
but those are cheap.
Those are not cheap. But
they're like
this is like on the same par of that. But it was Daniel Ricciardo gave it to Esteban Ocon, and it was like a Spider-Man like comic book,
Okay.
like coffee table book. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So like they spend money.
Okay.
Like they're spending, but then some of them don't.
Okay, but
some of them
not
are
like 10
like
grand,
George Russell was like, "Here's a pair of socks," which I was like,
okay,
that was a bad move. But so, anyways, my whole point of that, like reading this back, which I didn't realize this. So his first season was in 2014 with McLaren, Kevin's, and then Alonso replaced him. So Kevin pulled Alonso in the Secret Santa.
Even though he's replacing him.
Well, no, because it's random. They just like, you pull your name out of
I know
hat.
it's random, but I'm saying like that's kind of salty in my mind. Like,
sure, it's
I pulled the person that's
but
taking
this
my
was
job
years ago. No. I'm talking about this year, like recently, like yesterday they posted this.
Okay. Now
so this year he pulled Alonso in the Secret Santa. And I did not understand this, and I was like, this is weird. I don't get it. Kevin Magnussen, this might be the best, like, saltiest thing I've ever realized. Okay, so Kevin Magnussen, as his gift to Alonso for the Secret Santa, gave him a car mirror, like a little side car mirror.
Oh my gosh, because of the race.
And, well, no, and so the note said, like, this is a mirror off of my first car in F1.
What?
And it was wrapped up in he wrote on the wrapping paper kind of like like it wasn't like there wasn't like a card, like he didn't get like his assistant to wrap it. Like you could tell like he wrapped it up this mirror, and I was like, why would he give him that? That's so weird. But now it all makes sense. Because he replaced him. That was his first car, and he gave him the mirror.
Alonso replaced Kevin.
Right.
And Kevin gave Alonso this?
The mirror off of his first car.
I mean, but I would think it would be the other way around, like the salty.
No, I think that's salty of like, here's a piece of the car you took away from me. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can't believe I just realized that. I thought it was so random. And then Alonso unwraps it and he's like, oh, this is nice. And he's like, I can look at myself in it.
Oh gosh.
It was funny, but now it makes sense.
It does, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, I'll give Kevin, like we were saying, Kevin can like.
I like that. I like that because that's not something that's surface level of like, I'm going to be outwardly like rude to you and give you this gift that's like disrespectful and rude.
Yeah. No,
it's like, this is a gift. It's thoughtful. It's this. And like, until you understand like that, and I might totally be like reading into that or whatever, but it was the mirror off his first car in F1.
Okay. The reason why I got confused for a second, I thought we were talking about, because wasn't it Kevin that said to Lewis, or was it Alonso that said to Lewis in that one race, he only knows how to race drive in first or something like that. Was it Alonso?
And didn't Alonso like, he lost the mirrors off his car a couple times.
He did.
Maybe that also makes it funny.
Maybe, I don't know. But that's where my head was thinking. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, wait, no, that's Lewis.
Yeah.
But I want to say it was either Kevin or Alonso said that about Lewis.
He did. Okay. Alonso said it about Lewis.
Okay. Maybe that's why it was like, to me, the connection of Kevin being like, oh, here's a mirror of that. But so maybe not. I don't know.
But so anyways. And he also drove for Renault, Magnussen. And then he drove for Haas from 2017 till 2020. And then 2021, he was replaced. Well, both Grosjean and Magnussen were replaced by Nikita Mazepin and Schumacher.
Okay.
For 2021. And then his father was also an F1 driver. His father, Jan.
Like, I feel like everyone's
a lot of them.
has
I want to talk more about that because there's a lot of like following in the father's footsteps of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
because Max is also another driver.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking about, who were we talking about earlier that also had someone? Anyways,
all of them. It's crazy. So he's gonna be doing the Rolex 24 in Daytona with his dad during the off season, like this winter break. He's gonna be doing that, which I think is great. That's awesome.
Okay.
He's married. They have a daughter who is super cute. Her name is Laura. And he's brought her to the races and like put her in the F1 car. It's adorable.
I've seen that. It's so really cute. He did it the last race of this season, didn't he?
It's so cute. Yeah. They're super sweet. Love that. He also wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
And the book is called All or Nothing. It's only in Danish. But I did find somebody on Twitter that like translated a couple like excerpts. And I wish this book was in English because I really want to read it because it sounds so salty. Like, he talks about, like, all these different things that happen at McLaren, like, stuff that happened at Renault.
No English version.
I'm sure there's got to be an English translation, but, like, you can't, like, buy it, like, in English. That I found. Because I would, like, totally be down to buy that and read it.
No, yeah.
Because it sounded really interesting. But he talks about, like, some funny stories in there. And it seems like he serves up a lot of like gossip about his time at both of those teams.
I feel like he's probably very honest.
Yeah.
With it too. Like,
yeah.
You know, like not bashing, just like the honest truth of like, here's what I experienced.
Here's what
and
went down. Yeah. And like, apparently he used to get in trouble a lot of like he would go out and like party too much and then like have to call like one of the guys from the team to be like, hey, like this happened. And like, so one of the things I think it was at McLaren, like they could only use like the McLaren doctors and like physicians and stuff. And he like at one point broke his nose, I think it was.
Oh gosh.
And like getting into like a bar fight. Yeah. And then he had to call
the
this
vibe
guy.
That I get from him.
Oh, I totally get that vibe from him.
No.
Yes.
He
he's
just
crazy.
Like
he's a Viking.
Yeah, but like a gentle.
No, he's not gentle. It's
so
not
clearly
gentle.
You're breaking your nose.
Yeah, but so and that excerpt said something like whoever punched him in the face thought he was somebody else, but like who knows if that is true.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he got punched in the face and then he had to call this guy to like cover for him because he had to go to the McLaren doctor.
Yeah.
And he can't say, oh, it was in a bar fight and this guy punched me in the face.
It's kind of like Yuki not showing up to training sessions and all that. So
this guy like helped him and made up some story about something that he was doing and like fell on his face and broke his nose.
Yeah, I tripped going up the staircase.
Yeah, but he seems like I would want to hang out with him.
Oh yeah.
He seems like a lot of fun.
There's like drivers that I for sure want to hang out with and others that I'm just like, I have no
We should make that list.
We should
make that list.
Because Ricardo is not on my list. I have zero desire to hang out with him.
I feel like he's a good time guy. You hate him.
There's something about him. Yeah. And it's like, also like I have mixed feelings about doing that with Lando. Because he's real into the music scene, and you know me. That is just not my scene.
I think I would have fun with Lando, but I feel like Lando is mentally, like, might be 16 or 17.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to hang out with him outside of the club. I feel about
Lando, like, Lando is, like, a little brother.
Yes.
Vibe.
He's the little brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your vibe of Kevin though is he's a Viking.
A Viking.
See, my vibe of him is like a Cali surfer.
No, I don't get that at all. I get that from like Nico.
No,
gives me that vibe.
Kevin, but I think it's because like he's just very quiet, calm, go with the flow until he's not, and then like. He gets over. It seems like he just moves on real quickly from things too. Yeah, like he's not life's too short.
Right? He's not going to dwell on it.
Plus, it's the hair. I think.
Yeah, the hair is like a little bit bleach blonde.
Yeah. Well, and the poof.
It's his Danish.
Yeah, but the poof.
Yeah. Yeah. He does have that haircut. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I think that's it for Haas and the Haas guys.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited to see them next year.
I am too.
I don't know. I like Haas.
I do too. It's the underdog thing. Like, you want to root for them because they're like...
Well, yeah, and like, there's nothing in the sense negative to where I'm like, I don't want to not root for them.
Right.
Like, there's not a driver that I'm like, oh, I
Don't
just
like
can't
this
stand
guy.
him.
Yeah.
Or their principal's obnoxious to me, or whatever it may be. But there's just something, like, I don't know. But I think
They've got a lot of stuff going on. I think they're very chaotic, and I think the drama, like, feeds into that.
But it's fun.
Like you want to know what's happening.
I love it. He's probably my favorite person to watch on Drive to Survive. Just his personality. You don't think
He's funny. He has some really good one-liners.
Well, exactly. And then watching him, like, watching the race, he's just got the best, like, facial reaction.
Oh, and then he has to call Jean afterwards and be like, Jean, we did good today. Like, as if Jean's probably watching it. Like, I mean.
And Jean's probably there. Or
no, I don't think he's there a lot of the time. But, like.
Why? Just because of his NASCAR team?
Yeah. And then, like, they're all over the place and whatever. He probably doesn't want to travel all the way over there.
True.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for tuning in to our Queens of the Paddock.
That's right. Yeah. And we're going to be back with some more episodes. So.
Yeah. Who do we have next? What?
We've got Aston Martin next.
Oh, this is your favorite, like, car. The look, right?
The look of the car is my favorite.
Well, we'll see.
They've got good colors, but.
We'll tune in next.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Editing Alex again with the outro because we forgot it again. But thank you guys for listening. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. And we're also on Instagram at Queens of the Paddock. Thank you. Bye.